Okay, so we all know that I am the biggest Swiftie in the world, obviously. Like I try to be. And you got a poodle? Yay! I had to talk really quick about Blake Lively texts. I need to find them. I want to figure out what exactly is happening. We need the full context of everything, and I am here. I am the person that knows everything about Taylor on a parasocial level. But we can see what actually happened because I do think that Blake and Taylor are real true friends. This was in 2023. This is April of 2023. Torture Poet. So she would have been Torture Poets came out in 2024. So then she would have been like writing Showgirl right now. Okay. All right. So this must be Blake texting Taylor, and she goes, "If you get with this doofus director of my movie, wait." If you get here with this doofus director of my movie is still here, I'll be ushering him out, but hope he's still here. Can you do me a huge favor? I need help with him. Can you tell him you're excited for the movie, that you read the book, and that you're freaking out over the pages I sent you? What a magnetic scene that is, or whatever descriptives you're comfortable with. I'll send you the scene. You don't have to read, of course. It's just a quick read. This is crazy. Okay, so Blake says basically, can you do me a favor and tell the director, which is Justin Baldoni, of this movie, which is called This Ends With Us, was the movie that they were on. The movie, Blake got a lot of backlash over this movie because she was kind of representing her like hairline, which I like do use and love, and like it works it out, especially like the not me promoting Blake Brown. The hair stuff, it adds so much volume. And there was like this crazy campaign, like, so she was like promoting this movie that's about domestic violence. No, Blake Lively, the girl from Gossip Girl that does like Blake Brown hairspray. She was doing a movie, It Ends With Us. Love this dry shampoo. Okay. Doing a movie that It Ends With Us, and it's about domestic violence, this movie. And but she's going around and she'd be like, it's like a fun movie to go with the girls, like wear your florals. She was like promoting her new like hairspray, and like these girls are coming out with like perfect blowouts, and she's like, no, and she like flipped their hair over and spray it in their hair and like mess it all up. She's like, perfect. I think it ended up on Netflix. It Ends With Us. And so everyone was like, this is really weird. Like, and she was coming off like really bitchy and like interviews and stuff like that. Then we found out there was a bunch of behind the scenes. So the actor, the guy who played her love interest, is Justin Baldoni. He was in Jane the Virgin. If you ever watched the show Jane the Virgin, he was the main love interest in Jane the Virgin. He was also the director and the producer, but the actor playing the love interest. And he's one of those like weirdly like feminist men where which is not weird to be a feminist man, but he's like really hard into it. Like he has like a foundation for like men supporting women or like domestic violence or like, it's, I don't know, it's like a weird thing where it's like, why is it called like, why do you have to like show off that you're a man like being nice to women? It's really strange. And so, but again, I don't know. He might be a nice guy. My mom seems to like him and doesn't like Blake. So everyone dogpiled on Blake in this, like, so she came out with all these like accusations against him. He came back with accusations against her. She was saying that he was inappropriate. He was saying that she had a crush on him, and basically she came in, did a bunch of rewrites, got Taylor Swift to help her with these rewrites, her and her husband. She's married to Ryan Reynolds. He's very big in the movie world. This was around the time Deadpool and Wolverine was releasing, like the only Marvel movie that year, one of the one of the biggest movies that year or so. And she's best friends with Taylor Swift, which is like during the Eras Tour. The Eras Tour was like the height of the Eras Tour in 2023. So like she had two very powerful people backing her, and I think a part of Blake kind of thought like, oh, I can bully through this guy. That being said, she might have thought that, but also he might have been inappropriate. Like there can be multiple things that happened at once. But all right, let's see. what the text. So this is back in 2023. So when the movie is like, they're probably like getting ready. They're probably done filming the movie at this point. And so she says, "Can you do me this quick favor and say you're in love with this movie and you read the book to the director?" And you don't even have to read it, which is crazy. She goes, "He's a clown and thinks he's a writer now and got his rewrite and told me and appreciates my passion. That's it." So she gave him a rewrite and he's like, "Appreciate it." Oh. So having the greatest living storyteller unknowingly echo to him how much you love what we're doing, giving him credit as if he wrote them with me will go such a long way. Oh, okay. So basically Blake was like, hey, like he didn't like my rewrites for the movie. Can you, being Taylor Swift, go up to him and be like, I love the pages that Blake sent me. And she said, you don't even have to read them. That's funny. But again, if this is Taylor Swift, this is your really long time friend, Blake Lively. She could just be like, I'm gonna stand by my girl, you know. So and not really, no, and just trusting. So, and then Blake texts again. You dug a movie out of a grave once already for me. Wow, that's interesting. So that's a really interesting part of this. What movie did Taylor Swift dig out of the grave for Blake Lively before? Because you think of like other Blake Lively movies. There's that one with like Anna Kendrick. I don't know about that. Then there's, I mean, she's in so many. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Like there's so many movies. So that's interesting that Taylor like helped her do things behind the scenes of a different movie. That's very interesting. Okay. And then she attached it. I'll do okay, so Taylor texts back, I'll do anything for you. Blake says, I love you, thank you. Text me when you're on your way. I'll have Molly meet you in security and garage. And Taylor said, headed your way. I'm on your street. See you soon. Sophia headed down now. It's just so weird that we can see these tags. Okay, so then must be after. This must be after. That was 8:40. When was that? That's at 3. So the meeting must have happened where she ran into Justin Baldoni. And then Blake goes, you were so epically heroic today. I recapped every moment to Ryan. I kept remembering stuff. You making shit up about me and lenses. You making shit up about me and lenses. That's crazy. And referring to yourself as my doll. This clown falling for it, but also resisting it. You are the world's absolute greatest friend ever. I won the lottery. That's so interesting. And then Taylor goes, I won the lottery. You are the coolest person in the world. And you like me? Whoa. Okay. So that says a lot to their relationship right there. That's crazy. Because so Taylor Swift at the end of the day still feels like that uncool popular girl, which is so crazy because she's like the biggest pop star. She is the most popular person in the world. Whether you like her or not, she's just, you know. And she still feels like she wants to. She's shocked that a not that great of an actress, Blake Lively. Like, no offense, girl. Like, love Gossip Girl and stuff, but you're glad that even you like me. Like, okay, that's interesting. But again, it's the psychology of especially Taylor at this time. I think Taylor has changed a lot since 2023. Really like meeting Travis and everything, but she was down bad crying at the gym. Like she was always just trying to be cool. Even an eldest daughter. Because maybe she's like writing Showgirl right now. Seems like the new Britney. Yes and no. Taylor definitely did like she was influenced heavily from Britney. But Britney's just such a specific like instance. It's so hard to like. Taylor was she kind of was the like Britney was kind of the first like model of a pop star in that exact vein. Now people like the Tate McRae's and the Charli XCX's and like the Addison Rae's and stuff like that are like following the Britney line specifically. Taylor Swift taps into that sometimes, but then Taylor Swift also created the first her thing of like a sad girl with a guitar turned pop star. And then people also go that route, which is like the Gracie Abrams and like the Phoebe Bridgers and stuff. Um, but yes, I mean, but Britney was like she influenced pop like so much that people don't even realize. And so she's just eventually Taylor will get to her level, which is just kind of being like a legend. But it's gonna be a while until I think Taylor ever retires. Okay. So Taylor says I won the lottery. But also Britney was my first like favorite artist, stan artist. Love her. Britney is like the best. I love her so much. Like she literally, it's so insane to think of like at the time there wasn't social media and everyone in the world knew who she was, and there wasn't just like it was like you can just go online and see who it was. Like she was just everywhere. And it was like people were paying like $1 million for a paparazzi picture of her at one point. Yeah, I mean, they're iconic songs. I mean, the Toxic, Circus, like, it's really good. Like, the world does owe her an apology. It was a crazy, her life was crazy. But and she also like made Max Martin huge too. Like Max Martin is a big producer. He did Hit Me Baby One More Time. He now is like has worked with Taylor Swift and a bunch of huge artists since then, but him really making that album really changed what it did is it brought Swedish pop sounds to America. So what kind of like Americans think of as pop, the sound of pop is really Swedish music. That's what we kind of think of as like the general like pop vibe, but technically the genre pop is just what's popular, so it can literally be anything. You can have a rock pop album, you can have a rap pop album. Okay. So then Blake goes, the most bonkers part to me is him saying to you he doesn't know pop culture made me more mad than anything he's doing to me. His entire brand is dissembling toxic masculinity. He monetizes it. He does TED Talks, but says that to you. Not only is it so rude, but it's unique. I don't know pop culture. Oh, so he said to her, I don't know pop culture, kind of saying like, I don't really know Taylor, like saying kind of trying to take Taylor's power down by going like, I'm not really into, like, I know you're a big thing in pop culture, but I'm not into it. Like he must have been like belittling like that to her. Okay. That's interesting. But again, like this is all just like what you're reading into and stuff. Not only is it so rude, but it's unique. The thing that enraged me is you are in an absolute league of your own, being both the most popular artist alive and one of all time, but also the most respected and awarded. Which, to be fair, yes. Especially in 2023. Wait, and then Blake just keeps talking and talking. What does Taylor say to all of this? This is Taylor just saying, she doesn't even say like, thank you. She's like, you're like the best pop artist in the world, or whatever. And Taylor's like, I know. Literally. But no, I mean, at this point, it is crazy what, okay. Popularity doesn't normally coincide with laurels. In very few cases it does. Steven Spielberg, for example, there's one. Do you think for a moment he would have felt comfortable saying that to him, even if he didn't know his work? Okay. So the difference being here is that Taylor Swift is not a director. Yes, she is a director. She's directed her own music videos and is going to be doing, but like, that's not what she's known for. She's not known for being an iconic director. So that's like not a good comparison. Like he wouldn't talk to Steven Spielberg like that. It's like, well, he probably knows more about movie. Like he's literally saying, well, I guess this movie is considered pop culture. I don't know. Either way, it's just weird comparison. Because I mean, I love you, Taylor Swift, but you're not Steven Spielberg. Okay. I've been raging ever since. Even though I know it all comes from what you said perfectly. He just so wants to be in the room, but has to act like he doesn't. Interesting. I see it. I understand that it's opposite day with him. He's so green that he thinks what makes him good enough to fit in when in fact it's fucking enthusiasm, fandom, and respect for those killing it with the shows you're confident with where you are in life. It's so like she's saying so many words. I'm so sorry. And then Taylor's like, I've also been raging at the NYU thing. I honestly want to retroactively take you out to dinner to celebrate that. You deserve to be studied. You're a human masterclass. Fuck yes, they see it. I've been digging up hatchets. I'll stop now. I love you and I love you and my babies, and get more protective about your hearts with mine sometimes. I'm so much less forgiving when it comes to someone messing with someone I love than when someone messes with me. Oh, this is still Blake. I'm done with just love you and so ecstatic for you and grateful for you today. That was stupid fun. Okay. Blake needs to calm down with the long text. That's crazy. If I'm Taylor right now, I'm like, girl, leave me alone. That's like, why are you sending a novel? Okay. But that's just like a pet peeve of mine. That's my biggest takeaway from all this. I'm like, she texts way too long. Okay, so now Blake says, this is, okay, 10:38. When was the last time? Okay, 10:30. So 4:12. Okay, this is a few days later. I finally gotten to get in the edit alone. No Justin. I'm going to make this movie great, successful, if it's the last thing I do. They sent me a trailer. I'd love to know what you think. I can change it. I'm just curious your reaction. Oh, because Taylor's song was in the trailer. So that probably makes sense a little bit more, is why she's texting her about the trailer. They sent me a trailer. I'd love to know what you think. I can change it. I'm curious your reaction as someone who knows pop culture better than anyone, and also as someone who's read this book. Okay, girl, you can't get pop culture advice from Taylor Swift. Okay, this is a like PSA I need to give to the world. Apparently, Taylor Swift is not cool. Okay, I love her. She's my girl. She's my favorite icon, legend. But I think the Eras tour like made people start thinking she was like some cool, like hip person. She's like weird and quirky and nerdy. And that's why like some of these songs on the new album, everyone's like, why is this cringe? I'm like, because it's Taylor Swift. Like, what's happening? So, I don't even know why I went on this tangent. Oh yeah, she's asking her, you know pop culture better than everyone. Like, no. There's something like the only show Taylor ever uses her music in is I Know What You Did, or The Summer I Turned Pretty. Which, yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's a great show. I watched a few episodes, but that's what she's going after, which I get. I mean, that's her demographic. But is that the same demographic for a movie, but a movie about DV? But they're trying to make it happy. I don't get it. Okay. Don't be thrown by your song. They went out on a limb and kept it. Which is, wait, she didn't even know she was in. This is how she told her she's going to be in the trailer. What? Which is cheating because it imbues everything with such gravity. Yeah, it is cheating. The trailer was iconic because it had My Tears Ricochet in it. So she even says here, she's like, it is cheating because it's your song that makes it. On the other, I want this movie to work and your song hits a main artery. Yes, it really does. My Tears Ricochet is so iconic. Song variable aside, would love to know what you think. Please show Trav too. Would love his opinion also. Okay, enter the link. This is 4:23 at 10:30. Okay, a couple days go by. Oh my god, I just saw the above text and link. Gonna watch it now. Hey, you didn't just see it, girl. You saw it and you're like, ugh. You're like this. I'm like, I gotta deal. She's literally in the middle of the Eras tour. She sees a text and she's like, I gotta deal with her movie. That's what that is. But she's like, oh my god, I just saw this. Love that. Love that, Taylor. We've all been there. She's like, gonna watch now. Oh my god, it's amazing. I'm so sorry I was in a daze and didn't see the first text. I mean, you are in the middle of the Eras tour. Wow, I love how they use the song. Welcome to Hollywood, Justin. Welcome to Hollywood. Oh, because okay, so now she's using Taylor's song in it. So now she's like, now the general public's gonna think this is a Taylor Swift involved movie, and they can do whatever they want. And it's true. It is really true. I remember when I first saw the trailer, I was like, oh my god, does Taylor have something to do with it? I mean, Taylor knows what's up. She knows what's up. She might not know like what's cool, but she knows what's up. Okay. Then Blake replies, I'm not okay. I can't breathe. I'm obsessed with you. Ugh, I hate when people say that. I can't breathe. I've never felt more like Khaleesi. I have dragons, except my dragons are bred with Cersei herself. So she's saying Blake Lively is comparing Taylor Swift to a Targaryen inbred dragon. I mean, that's real. She's really projecting there. I feel like that's more of a Blake Lively thing, right? That's crazy. That's crazy. Calling her Cersei is wild. I mean, okay. Then Taylor goes, "I'm just picturing you muttering Dracarys," and then I fire off those texts to Austin. And then fire off those. So Austin Swift, her brother. By the way, if Justin was strategic, oh my god, it's getting juicy. Picturing you. I don't know if that Game of Thrones references. He would be like, no Taylor Swift in the trailer, because that gives you more power over the film. That's your ally, not his. And then Blake goes, get yourself a best friend who thinks like the actual Roman Empire. Taylor goes, his misogyny runs so deep he thinks women are incapable of winning chess matches or making long game power plays. Blake goes, you were so right and so wickedly smart to call it. He should have run from your music. I never thought about that, but holy shit, how stupid. This was the only shot at having the appearance of an upper hand. Hey, welcome to the pod. Yeah, so this isn't our normal live call-in podcast. I'm just hanging out for a little bit. Jane's going to be coming on. She's just doing a seminar with Blake Hernandez right now. So, but I'm talking about the Taylor Swift and Blake Lively drama. And there's so much tea. Reading Taylor's text is wild. So she does refer to herself in third person. She says he would be like no Taylor Swift in the no Taylor Swift in the trailer. Because that gives you more power over the film. That's your ally, not his. And it really does. Like, I do agree with her with that. Get yourself a best friend who thinks like the Roman Empire. She is a mastermind. She is strategic. And that was smart because the general public did think Taylor had something to do with this film once My Tears Ricochet was in the trailer. Blake says, by the way, I have so much to tell you. The author, Colleen, reached out to me because Justin is on an internal smear campaign trying to get his edit through. She was horrified and reached out on her own to talk to me. Turns out he fucking lied. She's not Baha'i. Not bi. Baha'i. Wait, I don't understand. Never has been. She's not friends with him at all. She actually hates him. She was his safety net all along. Meanwhile, he shut her out and wouldn't include her in anything and told her she had no voice or value, yet paraded her around in front of cameras for goodwill and told us that all his decision he got pushed back were her idea. Okay, that's really interesting. And this is going to piss someone like Taylor Swift off. Like, she's going to be mad if she believes that he's acting like this or if he is acting like this. And I think Blake being her best friend, she's not going to like do any digging. She's going to be like, yeah, fuck this guy. Okay. She flew to New York where I screened my cut for the first time yesterday. I killed it in the room. Bradley came. He watched it twice. He has been an absolute fucking hero. He has made me feel so good about the cut. Matt and Lucy Damon saw it to give notes and instead just wrote Tom Rothman to try to push my edit through without a back off with Justin. A bake off with Justin, sorry. Which is also what Colleen is pushing for. It's wild and crazy times. Wow, so they're just trying to push it out. So they were smearing it as like she just wanted to come in and take control over the movie. But I just don't know. I mean, for the movie we got, what was the original edit? No one should ever get into a war of wills with you. And I'm so excited to see it. Anytime, if you have free time, I'll send it to you. It's actually a fun watch now. Is she talking about the movie? Is she saying the movie is a fun watch now? I don't think it's supposed to be a fun watch. And I don't think it was. I mean, we watched most of it. I don't even remember if like I watched the whole thing because it was kind of boring. But it wasn't like like it was about falling in love with someone who like abuses you and then you like get the courage to leave and like interesting. Okay, it's a fun watch now. Okay, so then wait, this is December 4th of 2024. These texts where she was saying last they said like anytime I'll send it to you to watch. That was in May of 2024. So now we're all the way in December. And I will say, like, there hadn't been really spottings of Taylor Swift and Blake Lively. There wasn't a lot of, like, I don't think they were hanging out a lot. Best friend. I know. That's the thing, too, is that, like, I know that Taylor is just going to stick by her friends no matter what and not even ask for the details. Okay. So now we are all the way, like, half a year later. Blake texts Taylor, goes, hey, just checking in. I have no reason to ask, but I don't know. I've been feeling like I should. Is everything okay? I felt like a bad friend lately because I was such a sad sack who only talked about my own shit for months. You were generous to not only be the key person there for me during all of it, but while the Eras tour is happening, like the biggest tour in the world, but also to let me off the hook for being so in it. But I still have a feeling something may not be right. I told Ryan, he said to just ask you, but I feel so stupid or I felt so stupid and like it sounded needy and awkward for everyone, especially because I can't explain why I have this feeling. And you know I have toxic masculinity, so I can't be needy. But also, wait, you know I have toxic masculinity, so I can't be needy. That's so funny. Girl, same. Hate that. I hate that. Shelly, she's self-aware. But also, I do want to know everything is good, so I'm asking. Always want the opportunity to be a better friend if there's something I unintentionally did. I know how busy and taxed you are, physically, emotionally, practically, so I don't expect any more from you ever. Just want to make sure it's all good. Okay. And then an hour later, Taylor texts back, so didn't like wait days to text back to this. Okay. Taylor's probably like, and she's like finishing up the door. She's like, Jesus. This bitch again? She's like, okay. This is her needy friend. She's like, I don't want to be, if someone's saying I don't want to be needy, they're the neediest person you've ever met in your life. Okay. Taylor. No, you're not wrong, but it's also not a big deal. I think I'm just exhausted in every avenue of my life, and in recent months have been feeling a little bit of a shift in the way you talk to me. Ooh, okay. I love how direct she's being here. Okay, queen. Yes, there's been a lot of the Justin stuff, but I've been through things like this before, and I know how all-consuming it is. Yes. Snake gate, okay? Hey, Kanye, you know. It's more like, and I feel really bad saying anything about this because your texts have been so nice and their intent, but your last few, it's felt like I was reading a mass corporate email sent to 200 employees. You said the word we like 18 times, and it feels awful to be in any way critical of any way you process what you've been going through, but I just kind of miss my funny, dark, normal speaking friend who talks to me as herself, not like a plural unit. When it's a group I'm hearing from, I feel distance from you even more than when we are geographically redacted of like where they are. And I know you feel attacked from all sides for ridiculous reasons, so you're feeling like you have to overly explain things or be overly nice or whatever. But it's me. That's just caused a little distance. Okay, so this feels like a genuine conversation between two really close friends. Because like I said, when Taylor did get canceled with all of the Kanye stuff and everything, Blake was one of the few people that stood by her. And she even says that in the canceled. So I think like she was writing that canceled song around this time when Taylor's complete narrative was that this guy sucks. And so she's saying like, and she was seeing the world thinking that they have Blake completely wrong. Which they might, but I don't know. I think maybe they both suck. I think that's the truth. But that was a really interesting response, and I do like how she said that. And then this is Blake's response. Blake's response the next day. She goes, "Dear valued customer, thank you for your feedback. We at headquarters are reviewing your concerns. We'll get back to you in a timely manner." But for real, though, you're right. I literally deleted the awful thing I was going to end that bit with because I've become digitally paranoid. I don't know if you experienced that with phone calls after what we have. Well, why should she feel digitally paranoid, guys? Girls, there's no reason for her to feel that way. We're not just reading her texts publicly. um I don't know if you've experienced that with phone calls after what happened to you, but after the thousands of text messages that weren't meant for me that I've been reading, I've internalized that everything digital may be public. I say that knowing it's irrational, but my brain can't accept rationale there. So yeah, I've been texting like I'm writing, not like me talking. I didn't realize that until you pointed it out, but I see it. On top of that, I'm over packaging simple things because I felt so deeply misunderstood that I don't trust my judgment of myself anymore. That's so interesting. I mean, being a public figure, even on my level, sometimes can feel like that. On top of that, I'm over packaging simple. Oh, wait, no, I already said that. She said, wait, I want to pull the censor. I have a censor now. Okay, it's really loud. She said, this guy and what he did to me gave me an identity crisis legitimately. The thing that spooked me the most in all of this wasn't the bad guys being bad guys. It was the good guys, my lifelong friends, allies to women who quietly dipped. So I'm probably being over the top with my friends who stayed because I've never felt more alone. Yeah, I bet a lot of people probably did dip, and so did Taylor. Like publicly. The track is very violin heavy, and I hate it. Point is, I'm being a stupid paranoid weirdo, and I felt it, but didn't know where, how, or when. So thank you for telling me and for saying I don't need to apologize and for not making it a big deal. But I am sorry to you, and I'm sorry to me and to our kids. Fuck that guy and fuck his whole gaggle of supervillains. You've got enough on you. You don't need to write back to all this. Just letting you know I see it now and thank you. I'm excited for you to be done with suitcases, constant sinus infections, and torn up kneecaps. So close. Your submission will be processed shortly. We thank you again for your patronage. Blake Inc. Blakel Inc. Okay. Yeah, it was. Yeah, after this is giving Amber Heard and Johnny Depp stuff. Yeah. And so she was really getting like dogpiled on. Okay. And again, like Blake might suck, but I just don't agree with like dogpiling on anyone like that, and like unless they're like truly horrible. Okay. So let's see, what did she reply? So this is the same day. Okay, she replies back. Taylor goes, first paragraph took me out. Blake said, if only I sent you the unplugged version. I sent you a voice memo, but it doesn't show on our thread, which is really helping my case of not trusting phones. Did he go through? Taylor said, yes, I'm just falling asleep, but I will listen to it tomorrow. Love you. Okay. She said, it's the length of a miniseries. Sleep. Okay. So then, and then an hour later, Taylor replies. So she must have not waited to listen to it. And she goes, I think this little knows something is coming because he's gotten out his tiny violin. And she sent this picture of an article with that text calling him a little. It's funnier when it's bleeped. And saying, Justin Baldoni reveals he was sexually traumatized by an ex-girlfriend when he was hoping to save myself for marriage. And Blake said, okay. And then how I was like, it's so funny. She called him a little, and then I'm like, okay, well, sexual assault isn't a laughing matter, but if he is just strategically using that to make him look better, that is really up, Okay. It rings different when he doesn't end the story by saying, did I always listen when they said no? No. Like he did with me. But that must not have tested well in the focus group. He's being honored at the Vital Voices for Women event on Monday. A Vital Voices for Women event is crazy. Voices for Women. A guy? This is so disgusting, and I hate that he's clever about this. Okay. So Blake is claiming that he has told her, did I always listen when they said no? No. So Blake is claiming that he admitted to her that he was not taking no for an answer. That's crazy. Okay, here we go. Then she goes, this inspiring event celebrates men who are using their platforms, influence, and leadership to elevate women, combat gender-based violence, and promote gender equality worldwide. Well, not him, her. What does she mean by that? He's not. He's just a team. Yeah. Her and his publicist, Jennifer Abel. And the comms people at his studio. He needs to be beaten by his own word. Everyone weighs in before we respond to a text, writes an email, or trims his hair. It's wild. Everyone participates. I think it's important he's honored. It's all people honoring him and not taking a moment to question. No one talks to him. No one will say his name. No one follows him. Yet they are all close with each other. Maybe it was him. Nah, it was the woman because they wore flowers. That's how you know. Interesting. Okay. So now she's saying that there's like women in the midst that are like helping Justin. Taylor goes, Jesus Christ, is everything still on track? This is definitely giving like mob boss, like father figure. Is everything on track? Like, is it? It's like, I swear Taylor like knew these texts were coming out, so she's like, I should Easter egg them in my new album. Is everything on track? Oh yes. A week later though, but worth the wait. Okay, that's perfect. His own words. That's gonna be powerful. That's what's wild about this entire thing. Everything is in their own words. It's the only way to beat liars and hypocrites. Can you imagine feeling as confident as these predators that are going to always get away with it? Him accepting an award as an ally for women, and Scooter going about the world with his head held high as he owns and funds a crisis PR company that silences women right now. Damn. So then she's using Scooter because Taylor cannot stand Scooter Braun. Taylor goes, it's like a horror film no one knows is taking place, which is true. Oh, but they will. It's the only thing that can come from this. The good that protects other women from this happening to them. Meanwhile, I walk around feeling death sentence, guilty, and apologetic for being sarcastic and liking a theme party. Okay. All right. Well. Whoa. It keeps going. Holy shit, it keeps going. Okay. So that was December 5th. Then we go to December 21st. Taylor says, you won. You did it. Roy Orbison says it's turning. Who are these texting to? Who's Roy? Is that Blake? It's turning. And you fucking helped so many people who won't have to go through this ever again. Remember August? Loved and you fucking... Okay, loved that. Never had a cancellation been reversed so fast. You guys don't understand how rare this is. To have proof and to take the perfect steps to bring the truth into light. Ash, like my God. I love you so much. I would not be okay through any of this if it weren't for you. Those are Blake. Okay, so then I don't know who this Roy person is, though, because I think those ones... Ash. She goes, Ash? Like my God, I love you so much. So this is a group text with someone named Ash and Taylor and Blake. Okay. Can you believe she just called and was like, this PR chick wants to get info to Blake? That means the world. It changed my life. Okay. So these are all the texts. I don't really understand the context. Yeah, there's like code names. I don't really understand the context of the last part. But what I will say is that it feels to me that they don't care that these texts have come out at all. That it feels like they seem to like be operating that they're like in the right, that this guy sucks, or at least Taylor, and that called him a little bitch, and like they're insinuating that because everyone's like, well, she's called him a little bitch when he came out about sexual like abuse or whatever from a woman, and that can be like demeaning to men and stuff. But if he's lying, like if she's under the impression that he's lying about it and stuff, like yeah, she's gonna call him a little bitch for that, not for being sexually abused, but for like being a little bitch and using it as a weapon, or like not being real. So I think these coming out like she didn't think are gonna hurt her, and I don't think they're gonna hurt her. I mean, some people, the people that are like mad at Taylor Swift over these texts right now are people that didn't like her already. There might be some, but they're gonna like forget about it, because at the end of the day, this has nothing to do with Taylor Swift. The only thing that's like really shady to me is the whole like you were lying and saying I can do all these things with lenses and stuff like that, and you don't have to read it. Like that takes away credibility a little bit for me. I don't love that part of like, oh, I won't even read it. I'm hoping in my head that Taylor actually read it before saying she liked anything. But because she did send it to her, so I'm hoping she at least wrote it, because that's the only thing that would, like, to me personally, with Taylor, be like, you're gonna put your name on things that like you didn't even read. And I don't think she would. I think she did read it, but I also think that shows how close a friend she was with Blake and everything. But yeah, overall, this is like really fun tea, and I want to come out and like publicly talk about it because I really haven't yet.